The interior of a rectangular box is 54 inches long, 27 inches wide, and 9 inches high. The box is filled with X cylindrical tubes of tennis balls that stand upright in rows and columns such that all the cylinders are touching and there is no additional space for extra tubes. If the tubes are 9 inches high, what is the value of X? So one of the things to notice immediately about this is that the cylinders that are in the box are exactly the same height as the box. That basically takes the third dimension out of the problem entirely. We are simply faced with how many of these cylinders can fit in a two-dimensional box because they will match the height exactly. There won't be any sitting on top of each other or anything like that. So, and we know it's 54 by 27. So really, since they're all uniform cylinders, we need to know some information about how much space each cylinder takes up. When we find out how much one takes up, we divide the dimension by that number, and that's how many will fit in that row. And then we can do it by the other dimension as well. So really, we need to find something out about the cylinders. Statement 1 tells us that 18 tubes fit exactly along the interior length of the box. So that tells us that there are 18 tubes along this 54. Just to make it, and so that is sufficient for us to determine it. What we would do is we would say, well, okay, 54 divided by 18, that equals 3. So the diameter of each box or each cylinder is 3. Knowing that the diameter is 3, we would also then divide 27 by 3 to figure out how many tubes fit in this other dimension, the red dimension, and then multiply, the 18 by 9, and that's how many tubes fit in there. So statement 1 gives us enough information to determine the diameter of a cylinder of one of the tubes, so it's sufficient. We can cross off 2, 3, and 5. Statement 2 tells us that each of the tubes has a diameter of 3 inches. That's exactly what statement 1 already told us. We already did the hard math for this, so we know that this is also sufficient. We would divide 54 by 3 and 27 by 3 to find out the number horizontally and vertically of these cylindrical tubes. So each statement alone is sufficient to determine that the tubes have a diameter of 3 inches, and therefore we can figure out how many are in the box.